Hi there, it's making time, and this week I'm going to show you how to make some figures for a nativity scene. I'm going to show you how to make Mary and an angel. Have a look, see what you think. Mary and the angel. These are really quite simple to make. So I'll just pop these out the way. You will need a large paper plate. One of these is going to be cut in half, so we'll get one for the angel, one for Mary. You will also need for the angel a small paper plate, which you will also need to cut in half. You will need for Mary blue tissue paper, which, as you can see, I've already cut up or torn up. And for the angel, I've used white and yellow because the angels are described as bright and shining. So I've used white and yellow, which also I've cut up. You will need glue, and I do recommend the liquid glue, PVA glue this time. You will also need faces. I've put these faces into the Google Drive, and I'll put the link below. Obviously, you can draw your own or find your own online. And you'll need some hair-coloured wool. I've got some grey for the angel because that's light. And also I've got some dark brown, which I'm going to use for Mary. And for the angel, you'll also need some gold or silver stars. The final thing you will need is a stapler. And that's all you need. So, and your scissors. First things first is to cut your paper plate in half. It doesn't have to be exact, but roughly will do. Now, once you've cut in half, the next thing to do might seem a little odd because you're going to take a little triangle out like that. Now this, you will see in a few minutes, makes it much easier to wrap it round. So I'm going to do the angel first because that's most different. So load of glue. Excuse my awkwardness, but my thumbs have decided that they're now arthritic and are quite painful. So here we go. We have lots and lots of glue on here. Okay, oops. Loads of glue all over. In actual fact, you don't need to do this bit here. You just need to do one side up to the edge and not the other. If you do, it doesn't matter. It'll just but it will get covered up. You won't get it all. There we go. All over. And then just basically cover it with your tissue. And the reason I'm worrying about using the white, which might seem a little odd seeing as there's a whitish background, is actually the background's not quite white. And if I don't, it'll actually come up with this sort of dirtyish colour. I just think it's nice to cover it all. So encourage your children to cover it right up to the edge. Encourage them to cover it all. I've actually missed the glue there, but never mind. I'm going to use a lot of the yellow because that's just a nice bright colour, and you can see it better. And then lots and lots of the white as well, just to try and keep the colours there. You can see, just cover it over, so you've got, preferably, if you can get the children to manage it, no bits of the thingy bobby, the plate showing through. So, and a bit more white down here. Don't forget that when you've got the white tissue paper, will go partly over the yellow tissue paper, and that creates a slightly different colour tone, which just looks nice. So, which is another reason for using the extra tissue paper, whereas you might think it wasn't quite needed. But you can see it doesn't take that long to do, or that much tissue paper. I've almost done it. I'm thinking I was going to come off and come back to you, but I really don't think I need to worry. It's so close to being done. There's one or two bits where I haven't got it on. I'll just pop some bits on there. And I think one more over there. That will probably do. It's really close enough. Now you will find some of these bits may just come up. It's very sticky, this is a messy one in terms of stickiness, so do make sure you have your cleaning cloth of some sort available so you can wipe your fingers. So once you've got that all covered and you've got your fingers fairly clear, just, if it's not all cast down, just pop over the top with the glue to just get the edges caught down. It just stops it coming off. Okay, now this is where you see why we've got this little nick in it, because I'm going to turn it round, and it just makes it so much easier to do the overlap if you've got that bit of space. And run it round, and you can have it quite wide if you want, so you've got quite a wide base one, or you can cover it up over quite a bit and have it much narrower. So choose the size of it, and then use your stapler to attach it in two places, once at the bottom and once further up the top, so it is nice and firm. And although you might think it's a good idea to do this when it's dry, it will go quite stiff, so it's actually easier to do while it's wet. But if you want to be able to use your stapler again afterwards, give it a quick wipe down before it dries. And that can then be left to dry. Now the next step, really simple. While that's having a bit of a dry, I'm going to do the wings. Well, for which I need half of a small plate. And then all I'm going to do with these, what your child can do, is just pop some stars on to decorate these. You don't need too many. I'm sure some of your children will go completely and utterly mad with the stars, and you will have covered them. Some of them will only put one or two, so just put a few stars on. And perhaps a few on top of the angel as well, just to create a bit more glisten. Oops. A few stars popped on top of here, because that will make it look really good. Okay, there we go. Now, attaching this is actually quite easy. Just need a load of glue down the middle, and then lay this down like that and press, and that will then glue on. Head, choose one of the heads. I'm going with a nice light skinned one, simply because I want a light to maintain the lightness, and I'm going to have some of this light grey hair, so I'm just going to chop a little bit off there. I'm just going to put a bit, chop it into a few pieces, don't need very much. And this, two ways of doing this. You can drop it straight in and then put it on top, and it will stick really well. It is quite messy on your fingers, and that's a problem for me at the moment, so I'm going to do it this way and just cover it, stick it on top. And you will get gluey, so if you've got a younger child, you may not even want to worry about putting any hair on. You may feel that that's not necessary and leave it entirely bare. In actual fact, I think I do need a little bit more hair. She's a bit, or he's a bit. Oh, actually, no, that's all right. Did you know that angels are actually men? Or more like men than women? We have lots of nativity plays and it's the little girls who play the angels, but actually with names like Gabriel, then it's actually male for the angels. Right, glue on the back, and then that just pops on there, like that. Leave to dry, and you will find that it stiffens up quite a lot and is much, much easier to move around. Mary is made in exactly the same way, except using the blues, and I've used dark hair. If you want to add a baby Jesus, that's also really simple. I've got a bit of card and I have drawn an oval shape and a little oval on the top, and then just cut a little bit of a baby. And I'm just going to use blue tack to stick it on because I want it to be removable so that Mary can put her baby down in the manger. You have Mary before the baby was born, Mary having the baby, and Mary putting the baby in the manger. You can, of course, expand this, and it might be great to do just a few each week to add to it. So that's that one, the angel and Mary. And here's Joseph. I've done Joseph in orange and brown. I'm not sure about his hair. I don't know if they don't think they had bleach in those days, and that hair looks very light for the skin colour, but there we go. So those are there. And I've done a shepherd. I used the green and the brown for the shepherd, and I've added a couple of little cotton wool balls for sheep, and a pipe cleaner bent over, half a pipe cleaner bent over, and that's stapled on for the shepherd with his crook and sheep. And we have a wise man, also known as a king. Here he is in the gorgeous red, pink and purple. That denotes the wealth. And we've got a nice big crown on his head. And we've also got a great big shiny present to give to baby Jesus. Now you could make all these over the next few weeks as I tell the story. And then you've got a whole nativity set for your children to admire. And you can make more angels than this, and more shepherds, and more wise men. And you have a lovely nativity scene made entirely from paper plates. Do you think you could make Mary and the angel? And you know, if you wanted to, you could add more figures to your nativity set. You could add Joseph, some shepherds, and you'll hear about those next week. And you could add some wise men or kings, and you'll hear about those in a future story as well. Have fun. Do let me see your wonderful scenes that I know you're going to have great fun making. Bye.